All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, then welcome. Happy to have you. I'm Kevin, and this is Overland Recon, and we're here still at State Road Auto Repair. Today we're getting the trans service and trans flush going. That was Dave. He just walked by and said hi to me as I was talking. So Dave's been great. He's the sales guy here at State Road Auto Repair. So yeah, let's get into the transmission service here. Basically what we're doing is we're going to drop the pan because we want to. Again, it's got WK2's got 100,000 miles on it. We're going to drop the pan. It's got the built-in filter, and we're going to replace it with that Dorman that has a serviceable filter, which is nice in case I ever need to do it again in the future. So we'll do that. But the pan drop and fluid replace is only about 6 quarts, and it really holds a total of about 9. There's another 3 quarts or so in the torque converter. So then in addition to the service, we're going to do a flush, and we'll see how well we can do that when we get up in the air here in a minute. We'll see if we're able to pull the right hoses off to be able to properly pump out a little bit and pump in some more fluid. Otherwise, if we can't, then we'll have to figure out what plan B is. But again, basically I'm trying to make sure we get all the original fluid out, since I am changing brands. And again, going with that AMSOIL Signature Series automatic transmission fluid. So rather not mix them. So again, I'm trying to get as much of the old out as I can, just run the new. I know there's a lot of opinions, maybe controversy about whether or not you should flush a transmission. And I'll let everybody have their opinions, and that's fine. A lot of people say that it causes damage and or you can damage your transmission. I'll just tell you my take on it, and I don't know that I'm right. We'll see. Maybe I'll pay for this later. But my take is that if a transmission's already damaged, then yes, maybe flushing it may bring that more to light, where maybe it was running okay without it. But I think in general, if you got a good running transmission and you're keeping up maintenance and servicing it, then doing a flush is the right thing to do. So we're going to do that. So again, I think it's pretty low risk as long as it's maintained, which is what I'm doing. And again, maybe I'm wrong and I'll pay for it dearly later, but we'll figure that out. All right, we're gonna go head over into the shop and show you what's happening. See you there. All right, guys. So real quick, I just want to show you what we're going to use today for the transmission flush. Again, what we've got is AMSOIL products. In this case, what we're going to be using is the AMSOIL Signature Series automatic transmission fluid, and it is the fuel efficient, which is what is spec'd for the transmission in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. So we're going to put that in. I've got 4 gallons of it here, which is more than I need, but considering everything we're doing, it's going to be enough, and give me a little extra just in case. And then also as a part of the transmission service, I've got a Dorman. You can see the part number here. The Dorman transmission pan. So this is the pan, the filter, all the new hardware, so all the new bolts, and it's got the seal and everything. So everything we need to get this done. I went with Dorman because it's also pretty well known, reliable and everything. I shouldn't say pretty well known; they're well known. But the other reason is I was having a hard time finding the Mopar pan, which does have the just integrated filter versus the serviceable filter with Dorman. But again, I was having some trouble finding it, and was it a full kit? Did it have all the hardware I needed? A little more expensive. Wouldn't mind if I could have found it getting that one, but again, just was struggling to find it, so went with the Dorman, and I think it'll be just fine. Other people have used it and haven't had any issues. So with that said, we're gonna get back to it here at the shop. Just get a little footage of some draining fluid here. We've got the drain plug removed, draining some fluid, and then we'll get this pan out of here.
What's up? Where'd you put my flashlight? I got it. Come here.
So not it.
Pan in, all torqued. Some fluid in there.
I mean, that's the best idea. It's literally, it's
Alright, so they're wrapping up. They just went through the gears the second time. Do one more drop of the fluid and refill, and then we'll finish topping it off. Almost there. So probably on this last fill is when you'll start watching the transmission temperature, I imagine.
Yeah, you see that's pretty red now?
Yeah.
That's what you want to see.
Cool. Actually quite a bit coming out.
Yeah, it's just because once it warmed up,
Mm-hmm.
it expanded, and whatever was left is
Right.
draining off all the excess it does not want.
Awesome.
Dave? Cattle machine, Dave?
No. Is it not up front?
Nope.
I'm not sure then. That's the last place I saw him, was when I saw him walk up front.
Alright.
It really does look pretty good. Nice and red.
I mean, that's only 2 flushes, so
Yeah.
you know, it's probably plenty.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the color that is.
I mean, I think the only other way to see any difference if it was in a cup, but I mean, that seems
I mean, compared
seems like
to
a lot of the old is
black
gone.
brownish that came out.
Yeah,
originally,
right.
the dark red now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, end goal.
Yep, agreed.
Ideally, it would be bright red, but that's like 6 flushes maybe,
Right,
which is kind of pointless, and
Yeah.
we don't have the fluid for it.
right. I got a lot, but not that much.
Enough to flush it.
Yeah.
As much as was needed.
Yeah. And this will give me some extra too, just in case.
Yeah.
Probably, I imagine a good 80% swap at this point.
Yeah, at least.
Okay, we are back. Done with the transmission service. Everything went well. Just first things first, you probably just saw a bit of video without any audio, so I'm not sure what happened there. I had a couple of my clips cut out on me, possibly holding the cables here wrong or something and just cut out. So I wanted to describe a little bit of what was happening in the video that again, the audio cut out on, but basically, they got the transmission pan dropped. Everything looked good, cleaned it all out, no issues. And we were, specifically when we're looking in the pan, we were looking at the magnets, making sure there was no, metal chunks or anything like that for the transmission. There's no damage, and everything looked really normal. There was certainly buildup on the magnets, perfectly normal, and you probably saw that. He was wiping his hand in it and just making sure it was all real fine, which it was. It was all the normal, metal that you would see, or just, just really residue almost, or more than anything, just almost like a like a real fine putty, if that's even the right way to describe it, but just very normal, no issues there. You know, we talked about how the OEM transmission pan has the built-in filter, and that's not serviceable, so you just have to replace the whole pan. But he went ahead and he popped or ripped apart the pan to pull the filter out, and that's when he was looking at that as well. I think that video ended up upside down, which is weird, but you can kind of still see it all the same. So again, not sure what happened there, but was looking through the filter, no issues in the filter, no you know, shards or chunks of metal of any, you know, size or anything. So it looked really, really good. So again, no issues. So got it put all back together, and, you know, went through flushes where they, you know, filled it up, started it, run through the gears. So they had somebody, you know, certainly in it while it was up on the lift, and just making sure everything was running and working properly. Then we let it warm up as well. So we're trying to get some of that fluid out of the torque converter. I don't know that we ever got warm enough to get it through the coolant line, or the cooling lines where it goes into the radiator cooling to cool off the transmission fluid. So that'll eventually pump back in and just kind of mix with the rest. But again, just one of the things we found, you know, once you kind of get there, you got to adapt to it. So we were hoping to kind of pressurize the system and put in a quart and take out a quart. They didn't have the machine to do it based on the Grand Cherokee, so a little different system. I think there is someone who can do it. It seems like it's pretty rare to find it, or maybe I just didn't look hard enough to where you can fill or do that service just through the fill plug, where you can drain and fill through the same line. So we didn't do that. Again, just adapted to what we had. Certainly very happy with the service. They again flushed it, ran through that whole drain and refill. I think we did it 3 times total. So I think we figure we're over 80-85% fluid exchange at this point, which is, you know, really good. And as far as how it drives, you know, there weren't any issues, but it feels like it is a little smoother. Again, no issues. And so maybe it's just, you know, my feeling and nothing to it, which is okay. But yeah, seems like it's just that touch smoother, which is nice. They did say when they were draining that it looked like, you know, certainly time, no issues, right? But that it was time, right? It had just that little bit of smell, nothing terrible, but that it was time for a service. So it was the right move to go ahead and get it done. Again, we're at the 100,000 mile mark. It makes sense. Get all this maintenance done and be done and happy. So super excited about that. So we're going to get into the next bit of maintenance. As you saw, there's a number of things in the in store, right, to continue this maintenance for the 100,000 miles of service. So we'll get after that, and we'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great one.